Love often reveals itself in the smallest, most unexpected ways. Sometimes, without even realizing it, you leave a lasting mark on someone's heart, not through grand gestures, but through simple kindness, genuine presence, and the way you make them feel. What makes it even more special is that you may not even be aware of the effect you've had on them. In this video, we'll explore 10 sweet signs you've quietly stolen someone's heart without even knowing it. These are the gentle, everyday signals that show you mean more to someone than words alone could express. Number 1. They remember the little details about you. One of the most touching and heartwarming signs that someone truly values you is when they remember the little details about you. It might seem like such a small thing at first glance, but it carries incredible depth. People encounter countless conversations, faces, and moments each day. Yet when someone chooses to remember your words, your preferences, your stories, and even the tiniest things you casually mention, it speaks volumes. It shows that you have left an imprint on their mind and heart. This act of remembering is not simply about having a good memory. It's about attention, care, and the significance you hold in their life. Let's explore why remembering the little details is such a sweet and meaningful sign of genuine affection, and why it often reveals much more than it seems. 1. Small details show big attention. Think about how many interactions people have in a single day. Conversations blurred together, and it's easy to forget minor things. But when someone recalls something you said in passing, like your favorite drink, the name of a childhood pet, or even a story you told weeks ago, it shows that they were truly present in that moment. This kind of attention demonstrates that you weren't just another voice in the crowd. You mattered enough for them to pause, listen, and store your words away in memory. It is a quiet yet powerful way of saying, "What you share with me is important." Number 2. Remembering reflects care and respect. At its core, remembering the little things is an act of respect. It means they honor your words, your stories, and the parts of yourself that you've shared. Respect isn't always expressed in grand statements. It often shows itself in small, consistent actions. For example, if you once mentioned you don't like crowded places, and they later suggest a quiet cafe instead of a noisy restaurant, that's not coincidence. It's care in action. They not only remembered your preference, but also respected it enough to adapt. Number 3. A sign of deep listening. Many people listen only to reply, not to understand. But when someone remembers details about you, it shows they listened with intent and with genuine interest. They weren't just waiting for their turn to speak. This form of listening is rare because it requires focus and presence. It tells you, I value not only what you say, but also who you are behind those words. In a world filled with distractions, someone giving you that kind of undivided attention is incredibly meaningful. Number 4. It makes you feel seen. There is a profound human need to feel seen, not just physically, but emotionally and personally. When someone recalls even the smallest things about you, it affirms that you are not invisible. Imagine telling a story about a childhood memory, and weeks later they bring it up and connect it to something else you're experiencing. In that moment, you realize they carried your story with them, and you feel acknowledged in a way that goes deeper than surface-level interaction. Number 5. Consistency over time. What makes remembering details even more powerful is when it's consistent. One time might be chance. 2 times could be coincidence. But when someone regularly recalls things you've said over weeks, months, or even years, it signals something much greater, a genuine bond. Consistency shows they are not only listening in the moment, but that your words are important enough to be kept in their long-term memory. That is no small thing. It's a mark of significance. Number 6. The emotional connection behind memory. Psychology teaches us that we are more likely to remember information that carries emotional weight. If someone remembers small details about you, it often means those details were tied to feelings of warmth, care, or connection. For instance, if you mention that you always drink chamomile tea before bed, they may remember not because tea itself is important, but because it connects them to the comfort and calmness you once described. It becomes an emotional anchor for how they perceive you. Number 7. Acts of thoughtfulness that follow. Remembering doesn't just stay in the mind, it often turns into thoughtful action. Someone who remembers the little things may surprise you with them later. If you once said you admire handwritten notes, they might write one for you. If you mentioned a favorite snack, they might bring it to you without you asking. If you shared a goal or dream, they might check in months later to ask how it's going. These actions aren't about material gifts. They are about thoughtfulness, proof that they are not only remembering, but also caring enough to act on what they remember. Number 8. It builds trust and comfort. When someone remembers details about you, it makes you feel safe in sharing more. It builds trust because you know your words don't fall into empty space. You feel heard, valued, and respected. This trust creates a comfortable foundation for deeper connection. You no longer have to repeat yourself to be understood. You can share freely, knowing they will carry your words with care. Number 9. It strengthens bonds quietly. Strong relationships aren't built overnight, and they don't rely solely on dramatic moments. Instead, they are strengthened through countless small gestures over time. Remembering little details is one of those gestures that steadily deepens the bond. It may not be loud or showy, but it is steady and enduring, like a thread that quietly weaves connection day by day. Number 10. It's a reflection of where their heart is. At the end of the day, people remember what matters to them. If someone remembers the little details about you, it is often because you hold a meaningful place in their heart. You stand out in their world, and so do the things you say. Even if they never put it into words, their memory reveals what they may not openly say. You are important to me.
Number 2. Their mood brightens when you're around. One of the clearest signs that you make a difference in someone's life is the change in their mood when you're near. You might notice that a friend, colleague, or loved one suddenly appears lighter, more at ease, or simply happier the moment you walk into the room. This isn't about grand gestures or dramatic expressions. It's often in the subtle ways people shift emotionally and energetically in your presence. Below are detailed reasons why someone's mood may brighten when you're around, along with deeper explanations of what each reason means in the context of human connection. Number 1. Your presence feels safe and reassuring. When people feel safe around you, their natural stress and tension start to melt away. Your calmness, your steady tone, or your reliable behavior creates an environment where they don't feel judged or misunderstood. Safety isn't just about physical security, it's about emotional comfort. For instance, after a difficult day, someone may unconsciously relax their shoulders or smile more easily when you arrive. That shift is a reflection of how much they trust you to be a stable presence in their life. It's not about solving their problems, it's about making them feel less alone in carrying them. Number 2, you bring a sense of lightheartedness. Humor, optimism, or even just a gentle outlook on life can lift someone's spirit without you even trying. When you have a way of bringing lighthearted energy into a room, people instinctively feel happier. It doesn't have to mean you crack jokes all the time. Sometimes it's your ability to see the positive side of situations, or the way you don't dwell on negativity that gives others permission to do the same. They feel freer to laugh, smile, or simply breathe easier because your presence makes the atmosphere less heavy. Number 3, you offer genuine attention. In a world full of distractions, giving someone your full attention is powerful. When you listen with patience and sincerity, you validate their experiences. People often brighten up when they realize you truly hear them. Think about how rare it is to have someone lean in, nod, and respond thoughtfully instead of half listening. Your ability to make others feel seen can transform their entire mood. It reminds them that their words matter, and that reminder alone can be uplifting. Number 4, your energy is naturally uplifting. Sometimes it's not about what you say or do, it's about your overall energy. The way you carry yourself, the warmth in your smile or the kindness in your gestures creates an invisible ripple that others pick up on. People are often more sensitive to energy than they realize. A single encouraging look or calm tone from you can turn someone's anxious or gloomy moment into one filled with relief and gratitude. They might not even know why their spirits rise, only that they feel lighter when you're nearby. Number 5, you provide a sense of belonging. Loneliness can weigh heavily on anyone, even when surrounded by others. When you include people, value their input, and make space for them, you offer the gift of belonging. This sense of connection can instantly brighten their mood. For example, a quiet coworker may light up when you remember to greet them by name or ask about something important in their life. Small acts of inclusion signal that they are valued, and that feeling alone can shift their entire emotional state toward joy. Number 6, you help them shift perspective. When someone is caught up in worry, frustration, or negativity, your perspective can offer them clarity. You don't have to lecture or give long speeches. Sometimes a few thoughtful words or even your calm demeanor helps them step back and see things differently. By encouraging a healthier perspective, you create hope where there was heaviness. Even if their problems don't disappear, your influence reminds them that challenges are manageable. That realization alone brightens their outlook. Number 7, you encourage authentic encouragement. People can tell the difference between empty compliments and genuine encouragement. When you recognize their efforts or express belief in their abilities, their mood lifts because your words come from sincerity. Authentic encouragement affirms their value and capabilities. It fuels their confidence in ways they may have lacked moments earlier. This simple but powerful gift leaves them feeling lighter, more motivated, and more positive overall. Number 8, you inspire calm through consistency. Unpredictable or unstable behavior can cause people to feel anxious. On the other hand, when you show consistency, being dependable, fair, and steady, you become someone others can emotionally lean on. This consistency makes them feel grounded. Even if the day has been chaotic, your presence communicates steadiness. That reassurance often brightens their mood because it anchors them in the midst of uncertainty. Number 9, you bring out their authentic self. Many people feel pressure to perform, impress, or act a certain way around others. But with you, they feel free to be themselves. That sense of authenticity naturally boosts their mood because it removes the stress of pretending. Whether it's laughing without restraint, sharing honest thoughts, or simply sitting quietly, your presence allows them to feel comfortable in their own skin. Few experiences are as uplifting as being fully accepted without judgment. Number 10, you remind them of what truly matters. Your presence may carry a quiet reminder of values that bring peace, gratitude, kindness, patience, or simplicity. When people are caught up in stress, being around you can refocus them on what really matters. For example, maybe you remind them that a tough meeting isn't the end of the world, or that small joys like a kind word, a shared smile, or a calm moment hold great power. This subtle shift in perspective brightens their outlook on the moment and even their day.
Number 3, they look for ways to make your day easier. Life is filled with routines, responsibilities, and unspoken challenges that can weigh us down. Some days are smooth, while others feel overwhelming. In the middle of all this, there are people who stand out, not because of what they say, but because of what they quietly do. They notice your struggles, however small, and find ways to make your path a little lighter. This is one of the most genuine signs of care, when someone looks for ways to ease your day. It's not about grand gestures or seeking recognition. It's about simple acts of attentiveness and thoughtfulness that reveal how much you matter to them.
In this article, we'll take a deep dive into what this means, why it matters, and how it reflects the beauty of true connection. Number 1. Genuine thoughtfulness behind their actions. When someone helps make your day easier, it doesn't come from obligation. It comes from genuine thoughtfulness. They don't just act randomly. They notice the rhythm of your life. For example, if they know mornings are stressful for you, they might quietly handle something simple so your routine flows better. If they know you dislike certain repetitive tasks, they may step in to complete them without needing to be asked. This is more than courtesy. It's an attentiveness rooted in care. They're not just hearing your words, they're observing your life and responding in ways that lighten your load. Thoughtfulness is rare in a fast-paced world where most people focus on their own needs. That's why these small gestures stand out so powerfully. Number 2, the gift of attention. At the core of making your day easier is paying attention. Many people don't realize how impactful it is when someone notices the subtle things about you, your expressions, your tone of voice, or even your silences. Think of those moments when you're tired but don't say it out loud, yet someone brings you a glass of water or encourages you to take a break. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens because they are watching with care, tuning in to your unspoken needs. This level of awareness is a sweet reminder that you're not invisible. You are being seen, heard, and valued. Number 3, small acts, big meaning. Making your day easier doesn't require dramatic effort. Often, it shows up in the smallest of ways. Carrying something heavy without being asked. Sending a reminder about an appointment you might forget. Preparing something for you before you need it. Offering a ride when they know transportation will be stressful. Individually, these might seem minor, but collectively, they paint a picture of steady, consistent care. These little actions often mean more than words of reassurance. They demonstrate, "I'm thinking of you." Number 4, relieving the mental load. One of the most overlooked forms of support is easing the mental load. The mental load is the invisible checklist we all carry, remembering tasks, planning ahead, and staying on top of responsibilities. When someone steps in to handle one of those tasks or simply reminds you of something important, they help clear space in your mind. For example, picking up something you need without being reminded, taking initiative on chores or errands, organizing things before you even realize they need attention. These gestures give you not only practical help, but mental breathing room too. That kind of support is invaluable, especially in times of stress. Number 5, creating emotional safety. When you know someone is consistently looking out for you, even in small ways, it creates a sense of safety. You begin to trust that you don't have to carry everything alone. This doesn't mean they take over your responsibilities. It means they walk beside you, ready to share the load when it becomes too heavy. It creates comfort knowing that if you stumble, someone is there to catch a piece of what falls. That emotional safety strengthens trust and deepens the bond between you and the other person. Number 6, quiet consistency without recognition. What makes these gestures powerful is that they often go unnoticed at first. Many times the person doesn't even mention what they've done to help. They don't make a big deal out of it. They simply do it. This kind of quiet consistency reveals pure motives. They're not seeking praise or acknowledgement. They're not keeping score. Their only motivation is your well-being. Over time, you start to notice that someone has been making your life smoother in subtle ways all along. And when you realize this, you begin to appreciate just how much thought they've put into you. Number 7, the beauty of selflessness. Making someone else's day easier requires a shift of focus. Instead of thinking only about themselves, they ask, "What can I do to help this person right now?" This kind of selflessness is a rare gift. It shows that your well-being truly matters to them, sometimes even above their own convenience. It could mean staying a little longer to finish something for you, taking a task they don't enjoy, or setting aside their own plans to lend a hand. These sacrifices, though small in appearance, are powerful in meaning. They communicate, "You are important to me." Number 8, strengthening connection through action. Every time someone takes a step to make your day easier, it quietly builds trust and connection. Words are important, but actions create a deeper sense of reliability. When you consistently see someone helping in ways big and small, you begin to feel secure in their presence. You know they are dependable, thoughtful, and invested in your well-being. This strengthens relationships naturally, not through pressure, but through the gentle accumulation of small, caring acts. Number 9, love in the quiet moments. We often think of care and affection in terms of big, dramatic gestures, but the truth is, they're most powerful in the quiet, everyday moments. Holding a door, finishing a task for you, offering encouragement at the right time, or even simply checking in when you know you've had a long day. All of these are small, ordinary things, yet together they create something extraordinary. This is the beauty of love and care, expressed without words, not loud or flashy, but steady and reliable.
Number 4, they celebrate your wins, big or small. In life, we all face countless moments of struggle, effort, and perseverance. Some of these moments lead to grand achievements that everyone can see: graduations, career promotions, major milestones. But many victories are quieter, smaller, and deeply personal. Finishing a project you've been delaying, staying consistent with a new habit, or simply making it through a difficult day with dignity. The true test of the people around you is not whether they show up during the grand celebrations, but whether they also recognize and honor the little victories that are often overlooked. When someone genuinely celebrates your wins, big or small, it speaks volumes about their character, their care for you, and their respect for your journey. This kind of encouragement is not superficial. It is a quiet but powerful way of saying, "I see you. I'm proud of you. Your efforts matter." And that simple act can have lasting effects on your confidence, your growth, and your sense of belonging. In this article, we will explore in detail why celebrating someone's wins, both big and small, is such an important expression of care. We will look at the reasons behind it, the deeper meaning it carries, and the impact it creates on trust, connection, and human relationships. Number 1, they truly pay attention to you. When someone celebrates your small wins, it shows they're paying attention, not only to your words, but also to your life as a whole. Think about it. You might casually mention that you're trying to cook more at home instead of eating out. Weeks later, you tell them you successfully cooked 3 meals in a row, and they respond with genuine joy. That moment reveals something profound. They remembered what mattered to you, even when it seemed minor. This attentiveness demonstrates care and respect. It's easy to notice the obvious, but it takes true presence to recognize the subtler progress you're making. Number 2, they respect the effort, not just the outcome. Life is not only about arriving at the destination, it's about the journey. Someone who celebrates your wins understands this truth. They don't wait until you've climbed the mountain before they say, "Well done." Instead, they applaud each step along the way. If you've been working to build confidence in public speaking, they won't wait until you give a flawless presentation in front of a huge audience. They will celebrate the smaller moments, raising your hand in a meeting, sharing an idea with a group, or volunteering for a short talk. By celebrating effort and progress, they show you that growth is just as important as results. And this mindset encourages you to keep going without fear of failure. Number 3, they reinforce your confidence. Celebration has a ripple effect.
Even a few kind words can lift your spirit and make you believe more strongly in yourself. Imagine completing a small but challenging task, like running your first mile without stopping. Alone, you might shrug it off. But when someone notices and celebrates that accomplishment, it magnifies the meaning. Suddenly, that mile feels like proof that you are capable of more. Their encouragement doesn't just make you feel good in the moment, it strengthens your long-term confidence. It reminds you that progress matters and that you are capable of growing steadily. Number 4. They share in your joy without comparison. In a world where people often compare achievements, it is refreshing when someone can celebrate you without measuring themselves against your progress. When they cheer for your promotion at work, they are not silently thinking about how it compares to their own career. When they smile at your small steps to its self-improvement, they are not minimizing them as insignificant. Instead, they take joy in your happiness simply because it matters to you. That kind of support reflects maturity and genuine care. It is not about competition, but about companionship. Number 5. They build a safe and supportive space. When your wins are celebrated, both big and small, it creates an environment of encouragement around you. You begin to feel that it is safe to take risks, safe to try new things, and safe to share your struggles and progress. Instead of worrying about judgment, you know you will be met with positivity. This kind of atmosphere nurtures growth. It makes you braver, more resilient, and more willing to step outside of your comfort zone. Number 6. They respect the uniqueness of your journey. A small win for you might look insignificant to someone else. Maybe it's reading one book in a year, resisting a bad habit for a week, or simply waking up earlier than usual. To the outside world, these may not seem like victories worth mentioning, but to you, they carry weight. When someone celebrates these personal achievements, it shows they are respecting your journey, rather than comparing it to anyone else's. They understand that what counts as success varies from person to person. By honoring your wins, they affirm the dignity of your individual path. Number 7. They strengthen the relationship through shared joy. Celebrating together creates moments of shared joy that strengthen relationships. These moments are not about material rewards or big parties, they're about emotional connection. Even something as small as saying, "I knew you could do it," when you accomplish a goal, creates warmth between you. Over time, these consistent gestures of celebration build trust and deepen the bond. Relationships thrive not just on support during struggles, but also on shared happiness during successes. Number 8. They teach you to value the small things. Life is built on small victories. When someone close to you consistently celebrates those little steps, it reshapes your perspective. You begin to realize that progress is not always dramatic. It is often quiet and steady. Their encouragement helps you notice the beauty of small milestones. Instead of waiting for grand success, you learn to appreciate each forward step. This mindset not only makes you more grateful, but also more resilient. Number 9. They remind you that you are not alone. One of the most comforting feelings in life is knowing that someone is truly cheering for you. Celebrating your wins is their way of reminding you that you don't have to walk your journey by yourself. Whether it's finishing a project, passing a difficult exam, or overcoming a personal fear, their joy in your success makes you feel accompanied. You realize that your victories are not isolated, they are shared, recognized, and valued. Number 10. They create lasting positive memories. Years later, you may not remember every detail of your struggles, but you will remember the people who celebrated with you along the way.
Their words of encouragement, their smiles, and their recognition will stay with you. These moments become part of your story, proof that you were not invisible, proof that your efforts mattered. And often, these memories inspire you to pay it forward, to be the kind of person who also celebrates the wins of others.
Number 5. They notice when something's off with you. One of the sweetest and most telling signs that someone genuinely cares for you is when they notice something's off with you, even before you say a single word. They don't need big explanations or obvious signals. They simply sense a change in your energy, mood, or behavior. This ability to pick up on the subtleties of who you are comes from paying close attention, valuing you, and holding you in their heart. Let's explore in detail why this matters so much and the reasons behind it. Number 1, they pay attention beyond the surface. Not everyone notices the small changes in someone's mood. Many people are too busy with their own thoughts or distracted by the noise of daily life. But when someone truly cares for you, they pay attention beyond the surface. They notice if your smile feels forced. They sense when your usual energy is quieter than normal. They recognize when your words don't carry the same enthusiasm. This level of awareness comes from genuinely valuing you. Their focus isn't casual, it's intentional. Number 2, they remember the normal you. The reason they notice when something's off is because they know the real you. They've paid attention to your everyday patterns, how you normally laugh, the way you usually express yourself, and the small details of your behavior. So when something shifts, even slightly, it stands out to them. It could be as small as, you're quieter than usual during a conversation. You hesitate before answering questions. You're present physically, but your mind seems far away. Because they have a memory of how you typically are, they're able to pick up on changes others might miss. Number 3, they are emotionally tuned in. People who care deeply often develop a kind of emotional sensitivity towards those they value. This doesn't mean they can read your mind, but it does mean they're tuned in to your energy. For example, if you're feeling anxious, they might feel a subtle tension even in silence. If you're sad, they might notice it in your eyes or tone of voice. If you're stressed, they may sense it from your posture or slower pace. Their ability to notice comes from empathy, an emotional connection that allows them to feel with you, not just for you. Number 4, they value your well-being. When someone notices that something's off with you, it's not just about awareness, it's about care. They notice because your well-being matters to them. They want to know if you're okay, not out of curiosity, but out of concern. They may ask simple but heartfelt questions like, "Are you all right? You seem a little different today. Want to talk? Is there anything I can do for you?" This is not about prying into your personal life. It's about letting you know you're not alone. Number 5, they've built a connection of trust. Noticing when something is off usually comes with trust. It's a quiet reminder that you've allowed them close enough to see the authentic version of you. They don't just see the polished side you show the world, they also notice when you're struggling inside. That trust means you don't have to put on a mask around them. They'll recognize when you're hiding behind, "I'm fine." They provide a safe space without judgment. This connection goes deeper than casual friendship. It's a bond of genuine understanding. Number 6, they see what others might miss. Not everyone has the patience or the closeness to notice subtle changes. In fact, most people overlook them. But someone who has truly been moved by you will notice things others don't. For example, they'll pick up on the way your silence feels different than usual. They'll notice a slight hesitation in your tone. They'll sense when your laugh doesn't carry its usual warmth. This ability to notice is what makes you feel seen, sometimes more than words ever could. Number 7, they offer quiet support. Noticing when something's off isn't always about giving advice or solving problems. Often, the most powerful response is quiet support. They might sit with you in silence, give you space but let you know they're there. Do something small to lighten your load, like offering help with everyday tasks. It's not about dramatic gestures. It's about showing care in ways that respect your boundaries and comfort. Number 8, they respect your silence. Sometimes when something's off, you don't want to talk about it. Someone who truly cares will notice your shift, but they won't pressure you into opening up before you're ready. They'll give you space while gently making it clear that you can lean on them when the time feels right. This balance of noticing without invading shows a deep level of respect. Number 9, they reflect genuine empathy. Empathy is the heart of this behavior. They're not just noticing for the sake of it, they're feeling alongside you. If you're sad, they carry a quiet heaviness. If you're worried, they share some of the concern. This doesn't mean they're overwhelmed by your emotions. It means they care enough to walk alongside you emotionally, even when they don't have all the answers. And number 10, it's a reflection of love and care. At the deepest level, noticing when something's off with you is a reflection of love and care. It shows that you're not just a passing presence in their life. You're someone who matters. This awareness communicates you are valued. Your feelings matter. You are not invisible. Sometimes the quiet, "I noticed," speaks louder than 100 words of reassurance.
Number 6, they include you in their world. One of the most telling signs that someone values you is when they begin to include you in their world. This doesn't mean just spending time together. It goes deeper. It means they are letting you into the places, people, and experiences that shape their life. When someone makes space for you in their routines, introduces you to their loved ones, or shares their personal dreams, they're showing that you matter to them. Below are some of the main reasons and detailed explanations why being included in someone's world is such a meaningful sign. 1. They introduce you to the people who matter to them. When someone invites you to meet their family, close friends, or trusted colleagues, it's a strong indication that they see you as more than just a passing presence. People generally guard their inner circle carefully. By welcoming you into it, they're showing that they want you to know the people who shaped their life, and they want those people to know you too. It's also a sign of trust. If they feel comfortable bringing you into these connections, it shows they believe you will fit well and that your presence will add something positive to those relationships. 2. They share their daily life with you. Inclusion doesn't always mean big events. Sometimes it's the small, everyday things, sharing how their day went, asking for your opinion on little choices, or inviting you along for routine activities. This shows they don't see you as separate from their life. They want you woven into it. Whether it's running errands together or having you join them for a casual meal, these moments reflect comfort and a desire for closeness. They're letting you see the unpolished, real side of their life. 3. They open up about their passions and interests. When someone includes you in their world, they also want to show you what excites them. They might introduce you to a hobby they love, invite you to watch their favorite sports team, or share music, books, or movies that inspire them. This is significant because our passions often reveal who we truly are. By opening this door, they're not only saying, "This matters to me," but also, "I want you to experience this part of me too." 4. They value your presence in important moments. Inclusion shows itself strongly in celebrations, milestones, or even challenging times. If they invite you to be there during these experiences, it's because they see you as someone who adds meaning and comfort. When you're part of their birthdays, family gatherings, or even times when they need support, it's clear they consider you a significant figure in their life, not just someone on the sidelines. 5. They let you see their vulnerable side. Being included in someone's world also means seeing them in both their strengths and weaknesses. If they trust you enough to share their worries, challenges, or insecurities, they're letting you into a part of their life that they don't show to just anyone. This kind of inclusion requires deep trust. It shows they want you to walk alongside them, not only in the good times, but also when life feels heavy. 6. They encourage you to be part of their future plans. Another powerful way someone includes you in their world is by talking about the future and placing you in it. They might ask your opinion on decisions, discuss upcoming trips, or mention long-term goals where they see you alongside them. This is more than casual conversation. It reflects intentionality. They're saying, I see you as part of where I'm going. 7. They share their traditions and personal stories. Inclusion often shows through traditions and storytelling. They may invite you to holiday celebrations, cultural customs, or share meaningful stories from their past. By doing this, they're offering you a glimpse into what shaped them, and they're giving you the opportunity to connect with their personal history. Traditions carry emotional weight, and when someone lets you into them, it means you've become an important part of their narrative. 8. They seek your perspective and input. Another clear sign is when someone doesn't just want you near, but also values your thoughts in their world. They might ask for advice, seek your opinion in decision-making, or check in with you before making plans. This shows respect and a sense that your presence matters, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. It means your voice carries weight in the space of their life. 9. They make you comfortable in their environment. Including you in their world doesn't just mean inviting you into it, it also means making sure you feel comfortable there. They might introduce you warmly to others, explain traditions or routines so you feel at ease, or go out of their way to ensure you don't feel like an outsider. This reflects genuine care. They want you not only to be present in their world, but to feel like you belong in it. 10. They balance independence and togetherness. Finally, when someone includes you in their world, it doesn't mean they lose themselves. True inclusion is about balance, allowing you in without losing their individuality. If they manage to bring you into their life while also respecting your space and independence, it shows maturity and healthy connection. They are saying, my world is richer with you in it, without making it all about control or dependency.
Number 7. They listen with genuine interest. In a world full of distractions, one of the most powerful gifts someone can give is their undivided attention. We live in an age where conversations are often interrupted by buzzing phones, quick replies, or minds wandering toward the next task. So when you meet someone who truly listens, who leans in, remembers your words, and shows that what you say matters, it's not just rare, it's meaningful. Listening with genuine interest goes beyond polite nods or waiting for a chance to speak. It is an act of care, a reflection of respect, and sometimes a quiet way of saying, "You matter to me." Below are the reasons why this kind of listening is so significant and what it reveals about the heart behind it. 1. Genuine listening shows respect. When someone listens closely, they are telling you, without words, that your voice has value. They aren't brushing past your thoughts or dismissing your perspective. Instead, they pause, give you space, and take the time to understand. Respect is at the core of genuine interest, and this respect builds a foundation for trust. 2. It demonstrates emotional connection. Listening with real interest often reflects a deeper emotional bond. The listener is not just processing information, but connecting with your feelings behind the words. For example, when you share a story about a difficult day, they don't just hear the facts, they hear the emotion in your voice. That connection shows that they are in tune with you. 3. They remember what you've said. One clear sign of genuine interest is when someone recalls details from past conversations. Maybe you mentioned a challenge at work, and a week later they ask, "How did that meeting go?" That memory proves they weren't simply hearing, they were listening and caring enough to remember. 4. It creates a safe space for expression. When someone listens with patience and care, you feel comfortable being yourself. You don't worry about being judged, interrupted, or dismissed. This safe space encourages openness. People who listen well often become the ones others confide in because they create an atmosphere of acceptance. 5. They ask thoughtful questions. A person listening with genuine interest doesn't stop at nodding or smiling. They ask questions that go deeper, showing curiosity and care. Instead of just saying, "That's nice," they might ask, "What did that moment mean to you?" Or, "How did you feel about that?" Their questions open doors for richer conversation. 6. It strengthens bonds of trust. Trust is not built in a single grand gesture. It grows slowly, often through simple acts like attentive listening. When someone consistently shows up in conversations with real focus, you begin to feel safe relying on them. Over time, that trust strengthens your bond, whether it's in friendship, family, or any meaningful connection. 7. Genuine listeners don't rush the conversation. In a busy world, many people talk while already preparing their response. But someone who listens with interest doesn't rush you. They give pauses, allow silence when needed, and don't cut you off. This patience shows that your words matter more than their own urgency. 8. It reflects selflessness. Listening with true interest is not about the listener, it's about you. They put aside their own distractions and center the conversation on your thoughts and feelings. That selflessness shows humility and care, qualities that deepen the warmth of any relationship. 9. It helps you feel seen and valued. We all want to feel noticed, not in a dramatic way, but in the quiet recognition that who we are matters. When someone listens with genuine interest, you feel acknowledged. You're not invisible or overlooked. Instead, your presence is valued. And 10, it's a sign of lasting care. At its heart, genuine listening is an act of love and kindness. People may forget what you said or what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And feeling truly heard is one of the most powerful affirmations of care.
Number 8. They value your opinion. In life, few things feel as affirming as knowing that someone genuinely values your opinion. It's not about them always agreeing with you, nor about placing you on a pedestal. Rather, it's about recognition. Recognition that your perspective matters, that your insights carry weight, and that your voice has a place in their decision-making. When a person values your opinion, it reflects trust, respect, and emotional maturity. They're not just asking you questions to fill space. They're seeking your wisdom, your experience, and your perspective because they know it enriches their own understanding. In this article, we'll take a deep look at what it really means when someone values your opinion, why it matters so much, and the many ways it reveals itself in everyday life. 1. Respect for your judgment. At its core, valuing someone's opinion is an act of respect. When they ask what you think, they're essentially saying, "I believe you have the judgment to help me see this situation more clearly." Respect for judgment is not built in a single moment. It comes from observing how you handle life, how you solve problems, how you approach challenges, and how you make balanced decisions. Over time, they begin to recognize that your thought process is steady, fair, or wise, and they place trust in it. Think of a friend wrestling with a career choice. They may have plenty of people to ask, but they seek your input because they trust your balanced perspective. Even if they don't ultimately make the decision you would recommend, the very act of asking shows that they believe in your ability to provide clarity. 2. The foundation of trust. Trust is one of the deepest elements of human connection. When someone values your opinion, it reflects that they trust you, not just to speak honestly, but to speak in their best interest. They don't worry that you'll laugh at their uncertainty or dismiss their concerns. Instead, they believe you'll listen carefully, weigh your words, and give a response that comes from both thought and care. For example, if they're dealing with a personal dilemma, they turn to you because they know you won't exploit their vulnerability. Your opinion matters not because you have all the answers, but because you are a safe person to share questions with. That trust is a gift, and it's one of the clearest indicators of mutual respect. 3. Inclusion in their world. When someone values your opinion, they invite you into their world. They don't keep their choices, dreams, or challenges locked away. Instead, they open the door and say, "What do you think?" Inclusion is powerful. It tells you that they see you as more than an observer of their life. They see you as a participant. Your voice isn't on the outside looking in. It's part of the process. This inclusion may show up in small ways, like asking what color looks better for a project, or in large ones, like seeking your advice before making a major life decision. In both cases, the message is the same. They want you to be part of their journey. 4. A pathway for mutual growth. One of the most beautiful aspects of valuing someone's opinion is that it encourages growth, both for the person asking and for the one responding. When you share your perspective, you might introduce them to new ideas, angles, or solutions they hadn't considered. Likewise, when they ask you questions, you're often challenged to reflect more deeply on your own values and reasoning. In this way, both people grow. For instance, imagine a conversation about handling conflict. You may offer a calm, thoughtful approach, while they bring in their own experiences. By valuing each other's opinions, both of you walk away with a broader understanding than you had before. 5. Recognition of experience. Each person carries a lifetime of experiences, lessons learned, challenges overcome, and wisdom gained. When someone values your opinion, it's often because they recognize that your experience gives you unique insight. They may look at how you've handled difficulties in the past, or how you've carried yourself with dignity in uncertain times. They see your story not as something ordinary, but as something instructive. This doesn't mean they think you have all the answers. It means they see that your journey has shaped you in meaningful ways, and they respect that those experiences give weight to your words. 6. Encouraging deeper conversations. Surface-level conversations may be fine for acquaintances, but when someone values your opinion, they want more than small talk. They lean into conversations that are meaningful, thought-provoking, and real. Instead of chatting only about the weather or routine updates, they may bring up their concerns, goals, or personal reflections. They want to hear your perspective, not just your pleasantries. These deeper conversations build connection. They show that your relationship isn't limited to casual exchanges, but is rooted in a willingness to share and learn together. 7. Emotional maturity in action. Not everyone is ready to hear another person's opinion with openness. It takes maturity to ask for input without feeling threatened or defensive. When someone values your opinion, it shows they have the maturity to welcome perspectives beyond their own. They don't need you to agree with them to feel secure. Instead, they appreciate the diversity of thought, knowing that it can sharpen their own thinking. Even when you differ, they still want to hear what you think, because the goal isn't agreement, but understanding. This level of maturity makes relationships healthier because it creates space for dialogue rather than one-sidedness. 8. The desire to involve you. Sometimes when people ask for your opinion, the question isn't only about the decision, it's about the relationship. They want you to feel included, valued, and engaged. By asking your thoughts, they are reminding you, you matter here. Your input is not just welcome, it's wanted. This sense of involvement is what strengthens bonds. You don't feel like an outsider to their choices. You feel like someone whose presence makes a real difference. 9. Admiration for your character. Valuing your opinion often stems from admiring the kind of person you are. People don't just seek input from those who are knowledgeable, they seek it from those whose character they respect. If you've shown kindness, fairness, patience, or integrity, people will naturally turn to you for perspective. They trust not just your knowledge, but your heart. Your opinion matters because it reflects the type of person you've consistently shown yourself to be. 10. Strengthening the bond you share. At the end of the day, valuing someone's opinion strengthens the bond you share. It creates a cycle of listening, respecting, and learning. Over time, this habit builds a foundation of trust that deepens the relationship. When two people can consistently share perspectives, whether in agreement or difference, they create a partnership of thought. It's not about who is right or wrong, but about walking through life with the humility to say, your view helps me grow.
Number 9. They find joy in your joy. There is something deeply moving about the way people who truly care for us react to our happiness. While some might simply acknowledge your smile or your good news with polite interest, others respond in a way that feels much deeper. They light up with you. Your joy becomes their joy. Your excitement becomes something they share, not just something they observe. This quiet but powerful sign often goes unnoticed, yet it speaks volumes about the depth of a bond. When someone finds genuine joy in your happiness, it reveals a heart that is invested in you, not for what you can provide, but simply because your well-being matters to them. Let's explore why this matters so much, how it shows itself in everyday life, and why it's one of the most beautiful signs of connection. 1. Joy that extends beyond self-interest. Most of us naturally focus on our own lives, our struggles, our responsibilities, our personal goals. It's not wrong, it's simply human. But when someone cares deeply for you, they shift that focus outward. They begin to find happiness in what makes you happy. This is not about gaining anything from your success. It's not about what your joy can do for them. Instead, it's about being so connected to your well-being that your wins feel like their own. They celebrate without envy, without hesitation, and without reservation. That kind of joy is pure, and it's rare. 2. The science of shared emotions. Psychologists have long studied something called emotional contagion, the way we catch the emotions of those around us. If someone laughs, it often makes us smile. If someone is anxious, we sometimes feel tense as well. But when someone has truly given you a place in their heart, this goes beyond basic emotional contagion. They don't just pick up your joy, they magnify it. They lean into it, encouraging it, and even nurturing it. Your joy doesn't just affect their mood, it becomes something they value and want to protect. 3. Everyday examples of shared joy. You can often see this sign in the small, ordinary moments. When you share good news, even something small like finding your favorite book in a store, they react as if it's big news because they care about what excites you. When you laugh unexpectedly, their eyes soften and they smile too, not because they're trying to be polite, but because seeing you light up makes their day better. When you succeed in something personal, whether it's finishing a project, learning a new skill, or simply sticking to a healthy habit, they take pride in your progress as though they were part of it. These examples remind us that shared joy doesn't require grand moments. It thrives in the everyday. 4. Why this kind of joy feels so rare. We live in a world where competition, comparison, and envy often creep into relationships. Sometimes people struggle to celebrate others because they feel it takes something away from themselves. That's why it's so special when someone celebrates you without hesitation. Finding joy in your joy means they see you not as competition, but as someone they want to see thrive. They don't measure themselves against you. They simply want you to feel good. That kind of mindset reflects maturity, kindness, and genuine love. 5. A sign of emotional investment. This behavior is more than just friendliness. It's a sign of emotional investment. It means your happiness is tied in some way to theirs. When you succeed, they succeed in spirit. When you smile, they feel lighter. Emotional investment like this is not forced. It grows naturally when people value each other. It shows that you are not just another person in their circle. You hold a unique place in their heart. 6. How it strengthens relationships. When joy is shared, relationships deepen. Why? Because it creates a cycle of support. You feel encouraged because someone genuinely celebrates your happiness. They feel closer to you because your joy strengthens their sense of connection. Trust builds because you realize they aren't waiting for you to stumble. They want to see you shine. This creates a safe and uplifting atmosphere where both people can thrive. 7. The contrast, when joy isn't shared. To understand why this sign is so powerful, it helps to notice the opposite. Some people respond to your good news with indifference or even subtle envy. Their lack of enthusiasm sends a message, "Your happiness doesn't matter to me." In contrast, someone who finds joy in your joy sends the opposite message, "Your happiness is important to me." And that simple difference changes everything about how you experience their presence in your life. 8. The selflessness of shared joy. It takes humility to celebrate another person fully. It requires setting aside one's own ego and genuinely focusing on someone else's happiness. That is why finding joy in your joy is such a selfless act. It's not about them. It's not about recognition or praise. It's about the genuine warmth of seeing you smile, laugh, and live fully. That kind of selflessness is one of the strongest foundations of a lasting bond. 9. What it teaches us about love and connection. True connection isn't measured by constant attention, dramatic words, or large gestures. It's often revealed in these small but powerful ways, like rejoicing in another person's joy. This teaches us that love in its truest form is not about possession or control. It is about freedom. It is about wanting the other person to flourish, even if you gain nothing in return. It's about being happy simply because they are happy. 10. How to recognize this in your life. Ask yourself, who are the people that celebrate you wholeheartedly? Who lights up when you're happy? Who mirrors your excitement without hesitation? Those people are showing you something precious. They're telling you in their actions that you've captured a piece of their heart. Sometimes it's easy to overlook, but once you notice it, you begin to see the depth of care it represents. 11. How to reciprocate this kind of joy. If someone finds joy in your joy, the most natural and meaningful response is to do the same for them. Celebrate their happiness without hesitation. Match their excitement. Stand by them not only in their struggles, but also in their victories. When joy is exchanged and reflected in this way, the bond grows even stronger, creating a relationship rooted in mutual care and genuine connection.
Number 10. They show up consistently. In a world where words are often spoken quickly and promises are sometimes made lightly, consistency becomes a rare and precious quality. It is easy to declare care, loyalty, or respect in the moment, but it takes effort and character to prove those feelings through repeated action. Showing up consistently is not about perfection. It is about reliability, intention, and a steady commitment to being present. Consistency communicates something deeper than words ever can. When a person chooses to show up, whether through their presence, support, or simple acts of reliability, they are telling you, "You matter, and I want you to feel it not just once, but over time." The beauty of consistency lies in its quiet strength. It is not always dramatic or loud. Sometimes it is the small, unnoticed gestures that leave the greatest impact. A steady check-in, keeping a promise, offering a listening ear, or simply being there when it counts. All of these add up to a pattern of care that cannot be faked. In the following sections, we will explore in detail why showing up consistently matters so deeply, how it shapes relationships, and why it is one of the most meaningful signs of genuine care. 1. Consistency builds trust. Trust is not something that arrives fully formed. It is developed over time through repeated experiences. Every time someone shows up when they say they will, every time they honor a promise, and every time their actions align with their words, they strengthen the bond of trust. Consider this example. A friend says, "Call me anytime you need me." If they answer the phone at midnight when you are overwhelmed, if they check in after hearing about your challenges, or if they follow up days later to ask how you're doing, that trust becomes deeply rooted. Without consistency, trust wavers. Promises feel empty if they are not supported by action. But when reliability becomes a pattern, trust feels natural. It doesn't even need to be questioned. You know they mean what they say, not because of their words alone, but because of the steady evidence in their actions. 2. Consistency demonstrates genuine care. Anyone can make a grand gesture once, but consistency is what separates surface-level actions from genuine care. When someone continues to show up, not just in good times, but also in difficult or inconvenient moments, it proves that their care is sincere. For example, a person who remembers small details about your life, checks in regularly, or offers support without being asked, is demonstrating that they are invested in your well-being. Their presence is not situational, it is intentional. True care is not proven in one moment of kindness. It is revealed through a pattern of actions over time, especially when there is no spotlight or recognition attached. 3. Consistency creates a sense of security. Life is unpredictable, and uncertainty can leave people feeling unsettled. However, consistency creates a grounding effect. When someone shows up repeatedly, you begin to feel secure in their presence. This sense of security is not about dependency. It is about reassurance.